Happy Wednesday. All right, we're at the middle of the week. All right, so I want to talk to you about this little tiny button in SPSS that people tend to ignore, including myself because I'm in a rush, but it's a very powerful button. And it's powerful because it helps you retain or track the work that you're performing in SPSS. Okay? So, I was on the fence as to whether or not I should do this video because it's going to, anybody who actually follows what I'm saying is going to cross over from a non-programmer or non-technical person to a technical person to some extent. All right. There's this button called paste. The button, basically, if you hit it instead of hitting OK, it's going to take you to a syntax window where you'll see the code that will execute what you're trying to do. Okay? So if you are working in transform and you're making a new variable, or you're performing in a MANOVA, or you're performing a descriptive statistic, that paste button, if you hit that paste button, it's going to take you to a window where you will see the code behind the scenes that SPSS uses to execute a task. Okay. Now, why do you care about this? Say you're working for hours on a scholarly project. Okay. It could be a dissertation, a thesis, a homework assignment. You sometimes want to track how much work you're doing or what you're doing, okay? And save it somewhere so that you don't have to recollect, okay, what did I do first? Okay, I did this first, that first, and the third. So you can opt to have this syntax file that you save. You save it as an SPSS file for later. And so the next time you go to run the code or run your analyses, you could go back to that syntax file and run your analyses, and that will be that. Another reason why you want to use the paste button is, say you have several parameters that you want to perform the same task on. Instead of you sitting there, say, for example, constructs. Say you're creating constructs. Instead of you sitting there and going, okay, here's the code for this construct. All right, now let me now shift it and make a new equation, etc. And now I got to hit this button to move over this variable to put it into this bigger window. Instead of you doing that, you could just make the code, copy the code, paste it, and then modify it. And then at the top of the screen in the syntax window, there's this green arrow. It's an execute button. So you would just hit that arrow and it will execute the code for you. So there's a lot of nuances in SPSS. I'm not sure. I'm almost 90% positive that when you come into an SPSS course, 101 course, that they do not cover paste. But paste is a very useful tool. It saves you a lot of time. And if you're like me, where you got a million of things to think about, maybe you want to save your code that you did for that particular session so that you can pull it up and reference it, right? So this is just a quick tutorial on paste and in the uses of paste, and have a nice day.